Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Kodi Osnamini ki jai. Namacharya Srila Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakti ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gaura Sam Radha Kundi ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Yamuna Mai ki jai. Tulsi Devi ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Navadvip Bhakti ki jai. All glories to the Asmi. All glories to the Asmi. All glories to the Asmi. Thank you very much. So here it is said that asangsaya means without doubt. Without doubt, and samagram. Samagram means incomplete. Those who are philosophers speculating what is God, what is absolute truth, they cannot know. That is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Athapi te deva padambujadayam prasada leshanugrihita eva hi janati tattam nachanna ekopi chirang vichinna. One who is, who has gotten a little favor of Krishna, God, he can understand. Athapi te deva padambujadam prasada. One who has got little mercy of the lotus feet of Krishna. Athapi te deva padambujadam prasada lesha, little mercy. Janati tattam. He can understand what is God. Little favor, not all favor, a little. Others, chirang vichinna, they may go on speculating, imagining what is God. God may be like this, God may be like that, God may be like that. So in that way, chirang vichinna, for many, many millions of years, if one thinks like that, he cannot understand. Therefore, Krishna comes himself and he manifests his pastimes in Vrindavan as cowherd boy, how he is playing with his friends, how he is dealing with Radharani, how he is dealing with his parents. Everything is manifested practically, just like ordinary human being. But at the same time, whenever there is need, big, big demons, beginning from Putana, when he was only a few months old, he is maintaining his position as God, but dealing with his devotees, these father, mother, friends, lover, all in Vrindavan. Who are they? They are expansion of Krishna. That story we have got in the Krishna book, that Brahma stolen all the cows and calves and cowherd boys, stolen. Krishna immediately created another set. Then Brahma understood that here is the Supreme Lord, my master. So, the Krishna's associates, they are all also Krishna, expansion of Krishna. Ananda chinmaya rasa pratibhavita sabhi ja eva nija rupataya kalabhi. We are also expansion of Krishna. We living entities, Krishna says in the Bhagavatam, mamai bangsa, part and parcel. So, samagram, one has to understand actually what is Krishna incomplete. So if you want to know that, then this is the process. Mai asakta mana. Maya asakta mana. The mind has to be engaged in Krishna. First thing is mind. Therefore, Krishna manifests himself in this deity form. The deity is Krishna himself. But we cannot concentrate Krishna, which is not visible. Krishna is not visible to the ordinary eyes. Atasya Krishna na bhavet grahya indriya. God is not perceptible with these material eyes or material senses. Atasya Krishna namadi, even material ears, we are chanting. If you are not spiritually advanced, this chanting of Hare Krishna mantra also will not appeal. It will be mechanic. But by chanting, you will gradually advance Cetadarpana marjanam, then you will understand that this Hare Krishna mantra is not different from Krishna. The mantra, the sound vibration is also Krishna. So, we have to repose our mind to the form of Krishna. Krishna says, Mai, and to me, Krishna. We cannot see now Krishna personally. Personally he is here, but we want to see anything physically. Physically he is also there. Here, Krishna Murti is physical. But because we are differently educated, we do not know what is this world of physics. We think that this is different from Krishna. That will be explained. Therefore he says, Tatchinu asangsang samagrang ma jatha gyasasi tatchinu. You just hear from me. As you can understand me in complete, without any doubt. So Krishna is instructing himself about himself. Where there should be any doubt. There cannot be any doubt. God is explaining himself about him. Then why there should be doubt? This is called Bhakti Yoga, Madhasraya. Maya Shakta Mana Partha. So how you can engage your mind in the Supreme Personality of Godhead if you do not know the form? Therefore Krishna comes in his original form. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharat tadatmanam srijamaham. When people forget or become engaged otherwise, rascaldom, duskitina, at that time he comes. He comes himself or sends his representative to make this rascal know that here is Krishna. Tadatmanam srijami aham. In the form of name, in the form of deity, in the form of picture, in the so many ways. If you think of Krishna within yourself, that Krishna is like this, Krishna's leg is like this, Krishna's feet is like this, Krishna's hand is like this, mouth is like this, his dress like this. This meditation is perfect meditation, not imagination. So that your mind will be gradually absorbed in Krishna. So Krishna comes therefore personally and exhibits this Krishna Murti, just like here is the picture of your spiritual master. So you worship this picture, you know that this is my spiritual master's picture. Similarly, If somebody disregards this picture, you will not tolerate. Similarly, Krishna's deity and Krishna are not different. I was explaining this morning. Krishna has come kindly to accept your service as you can deal with him. If Krishna comes in his gigantic form, Krishna has got gigantic form also, as it was shown to Arjuna, you will not be able to capture him, neither you have any means to dress him. Suppose the universal form of Krishna is there and you have to dress him, so the whole cloth factory will be finished. Is it not? How you can dress? You have no capacity to dress. But Krishna has kindly accepted a form, this deity. You can purchase cloth according to your means, and with your great devotion, you can dress. Similarly, the gigantic Virat Rupa, universal form, the whole, it is described in the Bhagavad Gita that he is eating the whole humanity. It is going on in his mouth. Then where you will get such food? The whole humanity, whole universal living entities can be devoured by Krishna. But because you are not able to offer such gigantic food to Krishna, Krishna says, all right, give me patram puspam phalam tiyam. Give me a little flower, give me a little fruit, give me a little water, I shall accept it. This is called Archan Vidhi. Krishna has agreed to accept your service as you can afford to do. It is not idol worship. It is actually worshipping Krishna. So, therefore, Krishna said, Maya Shakta Manapart. This simply, you have to increase your attachment for Krishna. This is Bhakti Yoga. We have got attachment for so many things. Our attachment is now dispersed in so many ways. You have to concentrate that attachment to Krishna. Then your business will be successful. Bhakti Yoga. Maya Sakta Mana, mind. Savai Mana Krishna Padaravinda. Somewhere or other, you have to engage your mind at the lotus feet of Krishna. Therefore, so many paraphernalia. How to engage your mind? Savanam Kirtanam Vishnu, hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, thinking of Krishna, worshipping Krishna, talking about Krishna, writing about Krishna, selling the books about Krishna, eating Krishna prasadam. In this way, you become Krishnaized, all around Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. This is called Bhakti Yoga. This is called Bhakti. Somewhere or other, you become surrounded by Krishna atmosphere. This is Krishna consciousness. Maya Sakta Manar Partha Yogam. This is Yoga. Madasraya. Not Madasraya means taking shelter of me. So, taking shelter of me to beginning teaching, understanding of Krishna, taking shelter of Krishna's representative. Guru Krishna Kripaye Paye Bhakti Lata Beej. By Krishna's mercy one gets Guru, and Guru's mercy one gets Krishna. So if one is sincere, he take advantage of Guru's mercy and Krishna's mercy, and then he will be perfect. This is called Bhakti Yoga. Not that I am now very much advanced, I don't require any help from my Guru, as somebody are doing. This is ISKCON. You cannot get Krishna by overcoming Guru. That is not possible. Therefore, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Guru Krishna Kripa Apa. We should always remember that by the mercy of Krishna we get Guru. And by the mercy of Guru we get Krishna. So we have to seek mercies of both of them. So, Maya Shakta, Madasraya. Madasraya means, Mat Asraya. One Guru means who has taken full shelter of Krishna. He is Guru. A Guru does not mean that he has taken shelter of somebody else and he has become Guru. That is not. Guru means one who has taken full shelter, complete surrender to Krishna. He is Guru. Or he speaks only what is spoken by Krishna. Just like we are speaking in this Bhagavad Gita as it is. There is no malinterpretation. Krishna says, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam bhaja. The Guru will teach his disciple that you surrender to Krishna. Krishna is God. He is saying, surrender to me. And Guru is saying, you surrender to Krishna. Therefore the statement is the same. Krishna says, Manmana bhavamad bhakta madhyaji mang namaskuru. So Guru will say the same thing, that you always think of Krishna, you become a devotee of Krishna, you offer worship to Krishna, you offer your obeisance. This is Guru's business. Not that because in the Shastra it is said the Guru should be honored as Krishna, as Bhagavan. Therefore Guru will think, I have become Bhagavan. No, that is Mayava. The disciple will offer as respect, as much respect he offers to Krishna, to Guru. That is the Shastric injunction. But for that reason, the real Guru will not think that I have become Krishna. Kintu prabhoja priya eva tasya jasya prasadad bhagavat prasad. By the mercy of Guru, you get the mercy of Krishna. If Guru approves that here is a nice devotee, then Krishna accepts, yes, here is a nice devotee. Therefore, jasya prasada, our business is to please Guru. If he is satisfied, then Krishna immediately becomes satisfied. He is the agent. That is very easy to understand. Suppose you are working in an office, your immediate boss, the superintendent, if he is pleased, that means the managing director is also pleased. You haven't got to please the managing director separately. If you please his representative, then the managing director sees the report. Yes, this man is working well. Then he accepts. He has never seen you. But that is not the fact. Krishna also seeing you. So this is called madasrita. Junyan maya saktamana partha yugam junyan madasraya. You have to take shelter of Krishna. And Krishna, because you have no direct touch of Krishna, that will take shelter of Krishna's representative. Then this yoga begins. He will teach you how to practice the bhakti yoga, how to worship him, how to think of him, how to offer obeisance, how to observe the ceremonies. Just like yesterday we performed the ceremonies, Ratha Jatra. So this dress, Jagannath dress, and function, everything you have to learn. This is called Bhakti Yoga, Madhasya. And this, the beginning is Maya Saktamana, Ashakti. Ashakti, we have to develop attachment. If you do not develop attachment for Krishna, then other things does not come. So this Ashakti attachment has to be practiced. That Ashakti, there is rules and regulation, or the method how you can develop, increase your attachment for Krishna. So, the first thing is Adu Shraddha, faith, that if I become Krishna conscious, I will be happy. That is my goal of life. This is called Shraddha. If you have no Shraddha, that by loving Krishna, by surrendering to Krishna, my life will be perfect, that is perfection of life, then there is no beginning of Bhakti Yoga. The first thing is this. Just like Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam bhaja. You give up all other engagement, just surrender to me. So, if you have got faith actually, then you can devote yourself fully, 100% in the service. There is the beginning. Adu Shraddha. Yes, Krishna says that by surrendering to Him, I shall be free from all sinful reaction. If you have got faith, then you surrender, and actually you will be free from all sinful reaction. Krishna says, Krishna is not making any bogus propaganda. He said, Aham tva sarva pape bhamokphayasam. I shall get you released from all reaction of sinful life. We are suffering because there is reaction of sinful life. But if you surrender to Krishna, then your all reaction of sinful life is immediately nullified, squared up. So this is the process of Bhakti Yoga. You surrender, and in the past, whatever sinful activities you have done, that is squared up. Now, account closed. Now you begin a new life, devotional life. And if you stick to the principle as it is instructed, that do not have illicit sex life, do not have intoxicants, do not eat meat, do not play gambling or speculate. You promise before Krishna and before the spiritual master, before the Vaishnavas, so many witnesses, and if you violate, then you can understand what you are doing. You promise before the deity. Krishna is not defined. So when initiation takes place, we promise so many things. But if we do not follow, if we do not keep our promise, that is a great fault. If you by chance, by mistake, you violate the regulatory principle, that is excused. But if willingly, if you go on committing sinful life, just like in the churches they go to confess and again begin, that kind of business will not help you. That kind of business will not help you. I have confessed, now I begin new chapter of sinful life. Again I shall confess. Krishna is not so fool that you can cheat him by this process. No, that is not possible. You can be excusing the process of your advancement unwillingly. If you commit some mistake, that will be excused. That is said in the Bhagavad Gita. Opite sudurachara bhajati mam anannabha sadhureva samantabha. Sometimes we take shelter of this verse that opite sudurachara, however sinful a man may be, bhajati mam anannabha, if he is fully engaged in my service. But this word is very important. One cannot be fully engaged in the service of Krishna unless he is purified. Jesham antagatam papam jananang punyakarmanam. One who is completely freed from reaction of sinful life and is always engaged in pious activities, such person can be Krishna conscious. So it is not that one is a devotee at the same time a Krishna conscious. That is contradictory. It cannot be. If he is actually Krishna conscious, he cannot be devotee. And if he is devotee, then he is not Krishna conscious. Two things cannot go parallel. So, no. We are, if we are fully surrendered to Krishna, Krishna takes our all sinful, because continually we are suffering. What is that? Because, just like the same example, infection. I am infected, say 2-3 kinds of disease. So I am suffering from one infection, again another infection. They come, they take time. Just like if you sow a seed, it's not that immediately becomes a big tree and fruits. No, it takes some time. Similarly, our papa bijam, the seed of sinful activities, we take it, but in the immediately we may not see that it is fructified, but it will in due course of time. It will. Similarly, that one man has infected cholera bacteria, so not that immediately he is attacked with cholera, say after a few days. Therefore, the injection is given and the time is allowed in the medical treatment, so that if the infection has actually working, the disease will come. So immediately we may not see that we are infected with some certain type of sinful activities, but it will come into notice. And that is going on. Therefore we shall be careful not to infect. And how to become careful? If you always engage yourself in Krishna's service, therefore the deity worship in the temple is there, to keep us always engaged. Not only deity worship, the class, reading, hearing, kirtan, in so many ways. There are 9 different kinds of ways. Savanam, kirtanam, Vishnu, smaranam, padasevanam, archanam, bandhanam, dasam, sakkamam. Anyway, if you keep yourself always engaged in Krishna consciousness, in Krishna's business, then you are immune. You will not be infected. This is the process. You keep yourself always engaged in Krishna consciousness business, you will always remain immune. Sagunan samatitta itan brahma bhuyat. And willfully we shall not do anything which is against the bhakti process, willfully. But because I am habituated, suppose a smoker, he has taken to Krishna consciousness, he has promised that I shall not smoke, but all of a chance, sudden, suppose his friends induces him, what is that, smoke today, doing this. So sometimes we become induced. But we should always remember that I have taken this vow, why shall I be induced by my friend to smoke? That is very nice. But even if by mistake you do that, that can be excused. But not willfully. Nobody is saying Krishna is not here, let me smoke now. Not that. Krishna's eyes are everywhere. You cannot escape Krishna's eyes. So in this way, this verse says that increase your attachment upon me. That attachment can be, the process is this, that first of all you must have full faith in Krishna or full faith in the words of spiritual master. That is the beginning. If you have no faith, there is no question of advance. There is no question. Finished, everything is finished. The first thing is faith. Then we have to associate with persons who have faith. Sadhu Sangha. This is our opening of different center means we are giving chance. So those who are inmates of the temple, they should be also such nice devotees that anyone who will come in the association of devotees, he will immediately develop a sense of devotion. That is the duty, those who are managing this temple. By his character, by his behavior, he will be influenced. This is the next step. First of all, faith, The next step is to associate with devotees. The devotees must be also sincere devotee, otherwise what will be the effect of such association? Adu saddha tato sadhu sangha. Then gradually he will be inclined to become one of the devotees. He will request the president, sir, you recommend me for being initiated. I am interested. That is called bhajana kriya. Adu saddha tato sadhu sangha ato bhajana kriya. That bhajana kriya is initiated, the activities begins officially. Then as he make advance in this bhajana kriya or activities in devotional service, then anartha nivittisya, then all the unwanted things, the so-called illicit sex life, meat eating, drinking, gambling, even up to smoking and drinking tea, finished. Anartha nivittisya. Then you become pure. When you are pure, then your attachment for Krishna, atha shakti, that is called asakti, attachment. Then tato nishtha, then firm faith, tato ruchi, taste, tatha shakti, then attachment, tato bhava. In this way, you will come to the platform of loving Krishna. Then your life is perfect. This verse explains that, how you can increase your devotional life, how you can become perfect, how you can know God perfectly, samagram, asangsha, without any doubt. This is the process. Thank you very much.
Question?
No question?
Yes, right here.
What gives a man the right to take renounced oil of life? What gives a man the right to accept a renounced order of life?
What qualifications should a man have to take sannyas?
Sannyas?
What qualifications?
For sannyasi? Who has got no more material desires, then he is fit for taking sannyas. Sarvapadi, annavilashita sunnam. Sunnam means zero. All material desires made into zero. Then sannyas. Annavilashita sunnam jnana karmadhanabhritam anukullena krishnanasiganam bhaktirittam. Sannyas. Anasakta. That is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Anasita karma phalam karjam karma karoti. Sa sannyasi. Who is a sannyasi? Anasakta. Anasakta means he is working day and night, but no attachment for the result. Kurmis, what is the difference between kurmi and sannyas? Kurmi is working so hard day and night. He is expecting that I shall get some money out of it and I shall enjoy it. That is kurmi. And sannyasi, he is working in the same way day and night, but he is not expecting the profit for his personal use, for Krishna. And that is sannyasi. But the difference, there is no, in the activities there is no difference. But the one is accepting the result for his personal benefit and one is creating good result but not for his personal benefit but Krishna's service. This is the definition of sannyas. Anasita karma phalam karjam. He is doing as my duty. I am Krishna's servant, I have to do it. If I do not do it, then it is my misbehavior. Anasita karma phalam karjam karma sa sannyasi, sa yogi cha. Such person is yogi, such person is sannyasi. No niragni, no chakriya, not that artificially I have taken the dress of a sannyasi and talking nonsense. This is not sannyasi. Sannyasi means one has completely devoted his life for Krishna. He is sannyasi. Not sannyasi. And he is yogi.
Yes.
Srila Prabhupada, how is one able to draw the distinction between working very hard for Krishna and over-endeavoring?
But that phalena parichayate. By the result we can understand. By service Krishna, he will understand more about Krishna. Krishna idea will be clear to him. That is the test. Because it is said, Sevanmukhi hi jivhadau sama. Krishna cannot be realized by so-called speculation. But if you render service to Krishna, then Krishna will reveal to you. Revelation. So, how much service he is giving, that will be tested, how much he has realized Krishna. This is the test. If Krishna is still vague idea to him, then he has not advanced. This is the test. Just like if you have eaten something, then you will feel satisfaction. You are hungry, you have given some food. But you cannot say that I am eating, also I am not satisfied in my hunger. That cannot be. If you are actually serving Krishna, then Krishna will reveal to you, you know what is Krishna, asang sayang samagra, without any doubt and fullness. This is the test. If somebody comes, what is Krishna? You say, yes, I am serving Krishna, but I do not know what is Krishna. What is this service? You must know, because here it is said, asang sayang samagra, without any doubt.
Okay, so this is the lecture of the first verse of the second chapter. Asamshayam samatmanam. So what is the process to understand Krishna without a doubt? From the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam to explain what is the way to understand Krishna. Yes, what's the jump?
अथापि ते दे पदाम्बुजं द्वयं प्रसाद लेशान अनुग्रह तेहि जानाति तत्त्वं भगवान् वैमयो यसेक नचान्यो चिरं विचिन्वन्. If Krishna has little mercy of Krishna, if somebody got little mercy of Krishna, then he can know Krishna.
Okay, by getting the mercy of Krishna. Haribo! But Chiram Vichinvan, even if one speculates for many, many years, it is not possible to understand. It is possible to understand only by getting at least a little mercy of Krishna. And so therefore, in order to award that mercy and to help us understand Krishna, what does Krishna do? In order to help us understand Him, what does He do?
Krishna incarnates in many forms.
Yes, he comes in many forms or sends his representatives, and then he shows his various pastimes with his friends, with Radharani. Haribo! So then he gives an example or a pastime to show that how not only Krishna is performing his different ordinary human-like activities, but also he performs some superhuman activities.
He gives example of killing Putana.
And one more. Brahma Vimon.
Brahma Vimon, yes.
Haribo. So, Mai Asakta Manaha. So the mind has to become attracted to Krishna. And so to help us have the mind attracted towards Krishna, how does Krishna appear?
Krishna appears in the deity form and in the holy name.
Okay. Haribo. So in this way, one can chant the holy names, one can worship Krishna, and then one will gradually develop spiritual realization. One will understand that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is non-different from Krishna because one gets purified. So then, he explains that how one can understand Krishna by taking shelter of him, Mad Ashraya. So Mad Ashraya means taking shelter of Krishna or taking shelter of the representative of Krishna. So then he begins to speak about the spiritual master and the deity. So he explains that how the manifestation of the deity is the mercy of Krishna, that he comes in this form which is of a size which we can worship. So how does he explain that the deity form is actually the mercy of Krishna and we can easily worship?
Prabhupada is explaining that if at all we have to worship the universal form, then the whole cloth will be finished. We cannot not be able to dress him.
And one more thing.
Eating.
So much will be required to feed the universal form. In Bhagavad Gita he is showing he is eating practically the whole humanity. So, but the deity form is a form in which we can worship tangibly. Haribo! So, but in the deity form one can very easily worship, one can give. So, what the Lord accepts, patram pushpam phalam toyam. And in this way, one can increase one's attachment to Krishna. This is bhakti yoga. So then he explains how one can develop that attachment to Krishna by performing different activities. So what all different activities one can perform to develop one's attachment to Krishna?
Chanting, reading, writing, talking, hearing, so many things. So Prabhupada said that Krishna atmosphere we have to create, then we will get the attachment.
Haribo! And then he explains that by performing these different activities, then one needs to attract the mercy of both Guru and Krishna. So he quoted a verse to explain that how one requires the mercy of both Guru and Krishna. Simple one.
Prabhupada said, Guru Krishna Prasada Pai Bhakti Lata Bis.
Haribo! And then he explains who is Guru.
Guru is one who taken complete shelter of Krishna. Then he is a Guru.
And?
Nothing else, not someone is taken.
And there's one more thing which he does. That is correct. Haribo! But there's one more thing which the Guru does. Tribangap.
He speaks what Krishna speaks. Therefore, Prabhupada said that I am speaking Bhagavad Gita as it is.
No malinterpretation. Haribo. So Krishna says surrender to Krishna, and the Guru also repeats the same thing. Unlike the Mayavadis they say that I become Bhagavan, but a real Guru, he simply repeats. So therefore, yasya prasadat bhagavad prasada. Our business is to please Guru. So then he gives an example to show that how, if Guru is pleased, Krishna is pleased. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasada. What's the example?
So he was giving example of some super head like this. If the owner if you are pleasing your immediate authority, then the ultimate owner is also pleased. He will see the report. So similarly, if you please Guru, then Krishna will be pleased.
Haribo. Immediate boss. Please the immediate boss, the superintendent, then the managing director also. He gets a report, so he'll be pleased. So the Guru teaches how to take shelter of Krishna, yogam yunjan, how to think of Krishna, how to offer obeisances, how to observe various ceremonies. So in this way, the asakti has to be practiced. And then Srila Prabhupada begins a discussion on Adau Shraddha and the various stages of devotional service. So what is Shraddha? Rajrana.
By accepting Krishna consciousness, my life will become happy.
Haribo. Yes. So if I become Krishna conscious, I'll be happy. That is my goal of life. This is called Shraddha. And so if you've got faith actually, then what is the symptom of that? What is the symptom of having faith? Anybody can say, I have faith. But what is the symptom of having faith?
If somebody is having faith, then he will have faith in Krishna's words. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Sarva dharman pratyaja mamekam shanam vraja. So the symptom of faith is that one will surrender to Krishna.
How much? 10%? 15%?
Fully.
100%.
100%.
Haribo. Right. So devote yourself fully, 100% in the service. That is the symptom of faith. Okay, and then if one surrenders, then sarva dharman parityajya mamekam aham tvam sarva papepi, become released from all reactions of sinful life. So this is a process of bhakti yoga. And then he explains that how when one surrenders to Krishna, Guru, then all the sinful reactions become squared up, become zero. And then he is explaining that how even after surrendering, so if one occasionally accidentally commits some sinful activity, then one can be excused. So to explain that, he is quoting a verse from the Bhagavad Gita and he is explaining that verse.
Apite sudaracharo bhajante mam
Ananya. ठीक है, देखना। हाँ, देखकर बता, कोई बात।
Ananya Bhav. Prabhupada explains that if someone is very much sinful, then also if he is surrendered to Lord Krishna, then Krishna will take his all sinful reactions and.
Haribo. And then he further explains how one should not misuse the verse.
He gave example of Christians who go to church weekly and confess and again start sins. So Prabhupada said you cannot cheat Krishna like that.
Okay, fine. Hari Bo. So why one should take the initiation vows very seriously? Why one should take the vows very seriously?
Prabhupada said that if he doesn't do, he will be at fault because he has promised before the deity. And if it is accidental fall down, then Krishna will excuse. But if one is doing it, Krishna will not excuse one.
So he's taking vows before the deities, and Krishna is non-different from the deities and the Vaishnavas. Okay. Haribo. Okay. And then he further explains that, again on the same point of misusing the verse. So somebody may say, okay, apichet suduracharo, I can do any nonsense. But then what is the condition there? Tribangopal.
Apichetsu duracharo is there in the first line, but next line Krishna says, bhajate mam ananya bhak. So one should be completely engaged in service of Lord, but one can't engage if one is sinful. He quotes yesam tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. Unless one is completely free from sinful reactions and is pious, he cannot endeavor with determination in devotional service.
So one cannot be sinful and at the same time Krishna conscious.
Krishna conscious.
So both cannot go together. Haribo. And so if one continues one's sinful activities, it may appear that, okay, I'm committing some sinful activities, but nothing is happening. Everything seems to be going well. So then he, with the help of an example, he explains that even though one may not be observing the reaction immediately, but still it will come sometime.
Prabhupada gave the example of infection. If someone get infection of like corolla, then he will not see immediate result. Similarly, if we sow the seed in the ground, then immediate plant will not grow. So, but it will happen by the time.
Haribo, yes. So therefore, we shall be careful not to infect. And how to become careful? How to become careful?
Always engage in devotional service, like deity worship, 9 different forms of devotional service. So by doing that, we will be always immune to all these infections.
Haribo. Yes, if you keep yourself always engaged in Krishna consciousness, Krishna's business, then you're immune, you'll not be infected. This is the process. Keep yourself engaged in Krishna consciousness. Sagunan samutityetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Then he gave an example to explain this, an accidentally committed sin, not willfully committed, accidentally committed sin. Yes, Prabhupada.
Prabhupada gave an example of a cigarette. Suppose a devotee was excaded, like he was smoking cigarette, and then he meets his friend, and the friend induces him to have cigarette. Prabhupada then says he should realize what his vows he has taken. So and he should not do it. Ideally, he should be doing that. But somehow or the other, he gets induced by his friend. So that is forgiven or excused by Krishna. But he goes to a place alone and he says no one's seeing me, and he can start smoking. So that's not excuse.
Cannot cheat.
Cannot cheat.
Haribo. Yes. Okay, then Ado Shraddha, then Sadhu Sang. So, explaining Sadhu Sang, Srila Prabhupada explains what is the duty of the inmates of the temple.
Prabhupada explained that inmate devotees should be such a nice devotees that people who come to the temple, they get influenced by their character and behavior.
Harivo. Yes. And then after that, he will want to be initiated. He goes to temple president to recommend. And in this way, one will gradually progress, sadhu sang, bhajan kriya, and then anartha nivritti, nishtha, ruchi, asakti, and bhava. Okay, and in the question answer session, so who's sannyasi? Who's sannyasi? Okay, Punrik Prabhu.
Who has no more material desires.
Can you quote the verse from the Bhagavad Gita? 6.1 Bhagavad Gita. Anashrita karyam karma karoti sa sannyasi. Harivo. Okay, and the second question, how one can distinguish between working very hard and serving Krishna? Serving Krishna and unnecessary prayas, how can one differentiate? Okay, yeah.
Prabhupada said, Phalena Parijate, he will be able to understand Krishna and there will not be vague idea about Krishna. Yeah. He will be satisfied, like just like we eat food, then we are satisfied. So he will be satisfied in Krishna consciousness.
Harivo. Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Jai Samved Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Jai Hare Krishna.